Freshman.
It's still going, man.
Holy shit.
All right. Well,
that was way louder.
Well, it's, you know, but I didn't hear it. It wasn't loud to me at all.
Oh no, it's we got it. It was really loud. Hey, welcome to the third episode of the Doncast.
Third annual.
That's right. We're here to tell you exactly how it all went down, album by album, through the Don Loans project. And we're glad you're here with us tonight. As always, I am Jacob Snyder, and on the other end of the horn, my buddy Chris Smith. Say hello, Chris.
How are you? How are you? It's good to be here. It's album by album. It's not really track by track.
Correct.
We are being our own best editors in bringing you just some.
Not really, because we picked them at random last time.
That's true. But we didn't endure any full track.
Right. We're not subjecting anyone to an entire thing.
Right. So we started making music in 2003. We're talking about projects from 2004, all of which are compiled on the Don Loans Project Volume 1, found elsewhere on this YouTube channel. And in the comments of this video, you can always find the tracks, the actual videos that have the actual tracks that we're talking about, and talking over them.
This is what we're talking about.
You know,
actual tracks.
But I'll tell you what, we're here in 2004, and we have so far to go.
Well, yes, just the beginning.
Albums and albums. I mean,
albums and albums, and you, the listener, will come to realize it is albums and albums and albums.
Right, and like we worked really hard. In the previous episode, we talked about the bonus. Feel free to listen to previous episodes. Yeah, there's a lot of bonus. But right now, I'm going to kick it off with a track from Don Loans Project Volume 1, another good example of what we were trying to do. I doubt how far into this 5 minutes and 58 seconds?
I'll say this much. So the volume of the last thing was good, but it was a little too loud.
Oh, yeah, we're going with a new, higher quality.
Okay, this is it. We're entering high quality. A little louder. There you go. Clean that glass.
Carbo load.
I like that.
Yeah.
Reruns.
Let's give it a moment there.
Whew, boy, a lot going on there.
Get into one of our famous B parts.
Yeah, we should have been known as the Beatles.
Well, there is a track from this era in the bonus called B-side. I think was one of our better songs, and you belong on B-side.
Wow, I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree with you on that, but it's a song.
It is a song, and what we just heard is a song.
That's right. Yeah, this is the song. I think known as "Television Will Not Help You Play the Trumpet."
That's the one. That's the one.
Some of them they stick out.
Yeah, as does the trumpet. I mean, it's more on key.
It doesn't sound bad. It's not just like farting around or anything. You're really going for it, and you're the trumpet player on this.
Yeah, and were you playing hand drums with me, or is that just?
No, I think that's probably you on the hand drum.
It's maniacal, and it goes on a very long time. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, we don't have a drum set, and we're tired of this electronic click. Or I don't even think we had mastered use of an electronic click. Maybe we'll get to that. But yeah, this song, Television, and I Stayed Home, and reruns, and you know, what do you do when you stay home? Now, what do you remember of the B part?
I remember it could be the first instance of us using sample, actually.
Right. I remember a turntable that was meant for scratching.
Sorta. Didn't the guy just put a bunch of silicone in it? I don't know if it was meant for scratching.
I had proper scratch tables later, but at the time, you're right.
This was a record player that you had got from some dude who, for whatever reason, had filled the entire platter, and it was a big old
I had asked him to.
Right, and it was wild, the inertia on that thing. Like, you could just spin it with your hand and it would just go forever. Constantly slowing down. And that's what we did. We did this on that record.
Right.
That's coming up, this little sample. The part it says, "I'd like to talk to you."
Right.
And it is raining.
Well,
that's what we sing. That's what we sing.
And I think
the sample just says "it is raining," I think.
Right.
Cool. And we're taking a trip.
I'd like to talk to you, and it is raining. I'd like to talk to you, and it is raining. I'd like to talk with you, and it is raining.
All right, I've had enough of that. But there was something really magical about that turntable. I think the arm was weighted.
Oh, it was all freaking tricked out, man. The thing was crazy.
It was super cool, and it allowed you to make really fast spins, and the needle would not lose track of where it was.
No, the tracking was incredible.
Speaking of tracking, let me see if I can fast forward here. Wait a minute. That's the. I want to get out of the beat part.
Yeah.
We need to hear that. Here. Oh wait, that's not the right thing. Wait a minute.
I just figured out how to use my mute button. It's going to be so much.
Oh, nice. I accidentally started a whole different track, so you're gonna have to pardon me.
Yay!
Yeah. So that was a great song.
Man, we dissected it right until we did.
Television will not help you play the trumpet, but the second.
In this case, it won't even help you make a podcast.
That's right. This song foiled its own destiny. But the second verse, when we come back out of this weirdness.
Yeah, it's Who Wants to Be on
Dare.
TV. Yeah.
Here, this is where it ends up.
It's really something.
Isn't that great? It's still going too.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to though. And then there's another part after this, which do we even have to play it?
I'd actually like to play because I'm not sure what it is.
It's the da.
Well, I just want to make note of the bass playing, which was nice, and the electric guitar doing that rhythm.
Yeah, it was a little something going on.
And of the 130 times I tried to make noise out of the turntable, there's like 4 or 5 that are really cool.
When it first comes in and it goes, those are my favorites.
Unfortunately, you have to sit through 3 minutes of "It Is Raining."
There's a lot of that on these early tunes.
All right, but this
remember
other
that
part,
cool part that we turned into an entire 10-minute song? Yeah. Yeah.
This other part I don't remember, so here we go.
All right.
Showed Roosevelt while he was delivering a campaign.
What the hell? Oh, good. Oh, yeah. All right. That's quite enough of that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Folks, you can hear the entire track on Television Will Not Help You Play the Trumpet, Don Lone's Project, Volume 1, the earliest years. Ba, 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 ba.
You asked me what the next part was. Like, ba, ba, da, da, da. All right, so we got through that. Thank God. What's the next gem?
We're going to talk about a few other tracks from the Don Lone's Project Volume 1 and
go into Volume 2, I hope.
No. Volume 1 is represented on
I know.
By only a few tracks. So I think we should do 2 more from Don Lone's Project Volume 1 just to let people know that.
You know, you're right. That whole album should be uploaded fully. I have a copy of that. I should do that.
People don't even understand that the entire album isn't there.
I'm not sure
They just like what there is. Now, here is a track that has been on YouTube since 2012. It is listed as untitled. It has 54 views and 1 like.
Ooh, I wonder if it was one of us that liked it. We did this one, dude. We already did this one.
I know, yet I don't understand why it's listed there as untitled. It's a spaceship situation.
I think we got fucked up with the uploading or something.
If you want to hear our discussion of that one from last week,
please see a previous podcast.
Yeah, please see the previous podcast.
Oh, yeah. All the questions you ever wanted answered about the fucking spaceship situation.
All right, here's your second track.
I don't really know what's going on with you. I don't really know if I want to know what's going on with you. I need to know. I feel like a phone off the hook.
I love this part.
That's Donald Fagen on keyboards right there.
Holy shit. I guess so, huh? Man, I was just going to say, those keyboards are incredible.
Now, I got to say, this song was written at a time when, personally, I just found out I was going to become a father.
That's right.
And so this song holds that moment in my life inside of these recordings.
Oh, yeah.
Treating it like a recording and treating it like just another Don Lone song for the purposes of this podcast. I do remember how, wow, Organic House and this song together.
This was our really second successful song, I think.
Right, because we played some real crap. I mean, all this trumpet and stuff, and like
I think we've advertised that already plenty on this.
in the age of ego, because ego is not yet dead. I'm glad how egoless we proceed through some really awful recordings, and just say, yes, that is us. We own it.
It captured our attention, and I think that in and of itself has merit, especially for the amount of stuff. Like, it might be like, I don't know. I look at it a little bit sometimes like the farming or the blacksmithing, right? It's like it's a long road to get to a good product.
Right.
And that takes a lot of practice.
That's exactly it. And I think our earliest experiments, I know it felt really good to create this song, right?
Yeah, no, you could tell. And I still think it's one of the best songs that we've ever written. I really do. I love the lyrics. I really like the chords. The arrangement's fun.
It was like November 2003.
Yeah.
And I had brought over at least 2 pieces of gear. I hear this electronic keyboard thing, and then there's the chord organ.
I think the air organ.
Yeah. By chord organ, I mean table.
The national. Well, remember, that one wasn't a tabletop. The one I found had a whole set of legs that went.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
What was that black thing with silver legs?
That's right.
I was trying to look like an 80s Rhodes. It had like an air pump.
And, I think that in 2003 as well, you and I decided all instruments were on the table.
Oh, yeah, everything. Any idea is valid.
Right.
I think.
And any piece of gear.
And I don't think that really ever changed either.
No.
I've always been very open to like, hey, man, look, I found an old toothpick on the side of the road. We can make a D. It'll play a D.
Right. Yes. So the last track that I think we should take on here in DLP1 is one that you were very, very insistent upon from last week, and you did not get.
What is it?
Some people hope for a sugary. Some people hope for a dinner and a movie.
Oh my God.
You kept asking, can we please listen to I Remember You to Do?
That's another strong song from this record.
Going on lately in your life? Are you still moving like I remember you to do? Are you running late? Have you been late lately? If I was running late, would you wait for me? We're not looking for answers. We're not looking for answers.
We very quickly learned to synchronize our vocals. Because I think the last track we played, they were together, but then the one before that, they were wildly apart.
It could have been just like, who knows, hit and miss. I mean, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I think that happened a lot in those days too. Like, we didn't know that maybe the process we were using was more advantageous to a good result sometimes.
Right.
Right. Sometimes it would happen and sometimes it wouldn't. But no, I think this one has it all, man. This one's got great lyrics. I love the lyrics, especially the way the lyrics are delivered, because some of the words, you're not sure if they're saying one word or another, even though it's said exactly the same.
True.
You know, like, have you been laid lately?
Right.
You know, have you been late lately, or have you been laid lately? You know, and who knows what anyone's saying.
I like that it kind of references the dog from that song.
Oh, Answer's in there.
We're not looking for Answer, the dog, and we're not looking for answers from you. We were very witty. We believed ourselves.
How witty can you be?
Yeah, that was the name of the game.
You had a song titled that.
I did. And this track also has some cool electronic beat. It sounds like it's recorded being played.
And more like violent hand drums.
Yeah, and more hand drums, and bass and guitar. And
it's like a ballad. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, but one of the best B parts in the history of the Don Lones project. Here it comes, folks. Featuring an accordion, a guitar, a man, and his bass. Isn't that great?
Man, that's something, huh?
I remembered all those instruments except for the loudest one, which is that electronic drum set.
Yeah, just going wah, wah, wah.
And really, it's funny because you can hear it being hit. Like the room is mic'd, and you hear somebody banging around on this plastic thing.
I really like the juxtaposition of the very articulated melody line against all that background stuff.
Yeah. And I remember this was one of the first songs where you were very, very clear. Every one of these notes is important. And you had written this. I mean, that's a pretty complicated set of scales there.
Well,
sounds really cool. And I remember saying, wow, I agree. That is, I've never encountered anyone who could, out of their brain, come up with such a string of notes. Brain.
Out of their brain.
You know.
Yeah, well, I'm liable to get out of my brain, so. I don't know, man. It was just a silly, stupid little.
I wonder if I could sing that line a cappella. I wonder if you could.
I know I could. It reminds me of there's a big chromatic part in there.
Right. It reminds me of the guys from UHF suddenly, now that you and I are singing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. That's really funny. I never put that together. That's great. That's great. What's the next part of the song? Let's get into the next part.
Well, let it be known that both you and I, we've always had Weird Al in common.
Sure.
You know, and specifically probably the movie UHF. All right. B part's over with. Back to
another one rides the bus, motherfucker.
That's right.
Can you hear me? Am I clear? Check the ballads. Adjust the tone. How'd you like that? Was it too clear? It's how I feel sometimes when I'm with you.
Oh, what does that mean? How'd you like that? Was it clear? It's how I feel sometimes. What does that mean? A dial tone is how you feel sometimes when you're with a person.
I don't know. I just love the fact that the band kicks along and then it's like you get the phone beep and everything falls out of time and then another beep and then the band comes right back in. I love that.
And that took a ton of work.
I don't know what it means.
I remember that beep taking... Hello? Hello?
Don Loans?
Hey, Don Loans, how are you?
Hey. Where'd you go?
Oh, I'm with you.
Hey, where'd you go?
I'm with you. How'd you like that?
What? Whoa. Listen to that.
There's like 4 vocals.
I think this song really shows that we quickly start getting excited about singing together.
Yes.
That's just you. That sounds great.
That is a lot of fun, I gotta say.
It's a great song. It keeps you interested the whole way through it. And it's not, the one thing repeats like once and then everything else is different. It's kind of cool.
Right. And I do remember excitedly driving home from your house after these sessions, not especially excited about the tracks that we had done, though they were the coolest thing I'd ever heard at the time that I had been a part of. But I always had the sense that, wow, if we got this okay by now, after think half a dozen sessions,
right? Exponential thinking,
right? Now both of us, I wasn't interested in trying to be a bar band.
No, me neither. I had actually very little interest in playing out for money. Really,
right.
It was no.
So
it's one of those things. It was like it's too important to me to try to make it my job.
Right. So therefore, we knew we were recording musicians, and we knew our product was recording. And in late 2003, well, there certainly weren't as many home studios as there are today. So count us among some of those first people who. Man, do you think there is a special audible magic to Cool Edit Pro produced tracks? Because I'm starting to think that in my old age.
Oh, really? So I think you're referring to something that is actually more about it just was the time and the place and it's what you had. You could never put the collection of gear together that you used with Cool Edit Pro to even make it sound half like what you did then anyway.
Right.
All that stuff's gone, like what? I mean, I guess I still got the Sea Wasp. You still got you got a chord organ, right?
Oh, yes.
All right. So like
Right.
I don't know. I don't. There's something. The workflow in Cool Edit Pro is fun. That's what you might be missing. But does it have a certain sound to it? I don't know. I guess maybe if you used a lot of effects, which we did, it actually might have a certain sound. If you're just going with like some of the altered presets that you would choose or something, yeah, you might be right. It could have a sound, I guess.
It definitely, these early tracks have a sound.
Compander.
Right.
That's a sound.
Cool Edit Pro had a certain amount of effects, and we used them, and we learned about audio in a lot of ways from experimenting with different effects in Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah.
And in 2003, things were unstable. It was surprising. To me, it was just surprising because I had grown up with cassettes to know that this thing, that is my computer that I've always had, could suddenly now record perfect.
Right.
Like,
yeah, ready to go. Like you didn't even need to get, you had to get a couple things, but you needed some kind of interface and a mic, and you were ready to go.
And how many milliseconds of latency?
Oh boy.
Tolerate?
Yeah. People, they don't even fight about that anymore. Because like the technology has gotten so good, you don't even notice.
I wonder how many tracks that song that we just heard is.
How many tracks it is?
Yeah, like how many tracks is it comprised of? 12?
Oh, like individual overdubs?
38?
I don't know, but we do have on one of our records, there's a voice that jumps in and says, "This is track 100."
Oh, I know what track you're talking about.
That's coming in the future. But
do you want
man.
Do you want to tell the people?
Oh, that's in one of the songs from the Steely Dan project, I think, where we decided to cover an entire Steely Dan record. Katie lied. Cover, rewrite, reinterpret. I don't know.
Hey, be the first person to message us here on YouTube and drop us a message and let us know which track you hear us say track 100.
That's right.
And
you will get a prize. You get a prize.
You will get a prize. You will get an authorized Don Loans CD.
What do you mean authorized? Tell us more.
Out of my personal archive, you can have one of these things that are labeled.
Oh, great. You're just going to pick like Boggin plus pizza equals 100.
Yeah, something that Dylan. I have the digital copy of.
Awesome.
Limited supply of these.
Well, you say limited. I mean,
only a few dozen more.
It's hundreds of these things. My mom has like 20 of these. And she didn't even want them. She was telling me. She went through her CDs the other day. She's like, I found so many Don Lone CDs. Why are these here? And I was like, well, we did live together for a while during that. Oh, yeah. I heard the song Organic House. I was like, okay, cool. What'd you think? She was like, sounds the same.
Yeah, it is worth saying that we would take these tracks and compile them and recompile them. And I would hand them out to friends and family. Like I was super.
Oh, sure.
And they're awkward and strange, and some are not very good. But I know that I passed them out with great pride at the time.
Oh, for sure. I still pass them out.
And we will to you.
I gave one to the dog this morning. What are we going to next? We got another song?
No, I think that does it for the DLP one.
Oh, can we do a bonus?
Oh,
no bonus. You never want to do a bonus.
Hold on.
Or should we do This Week in Riveting?
Well, we kind of covered what was riveting this week.
We did?
Early on in the early part of the podcast.
Oh, I didn't think we were recording that.
Since the theme song. Now,
yeah.
What's interesting is, we'll give them one more track, and we need to explain why there is a Don Loans Project Volume 1, and then there's Volume 2, And then there's the best of.
That's right.
Best of was 2005. We had done a whole nother album, and we decided, you know what? There's a lot of garbage on here. Let's take the best tracks,
right,
and put them on a best of. Some of the
two,
best of we had.
How you can have a best of? How you can have a best of after 2 records is ridiculous.
I know, it's great. But we knew that we wanted to edit out some of that garbage, right?
It's still funny to me though, because I wonder how many people go to the playlist and like, oh look, they got a best of, and then it's like this is the best.
I know. By 2005, they thought this was as good as it gets. The cut of Television Will Not Help You Play the Trumpet that appears on Best Of is almost 2 minutes shorter than the original.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah, we made some big edits to some songs there too. Those are some interesting cuts, those Best Of cuts.
Yeah, there is a complete remake of the song Off the Hook.
That's right.
Today, folks, here's your bonus. Oh, here it comes.
There it comes.
Nira Nara Nuru.
On time, and never mind if I don't find it funny all the time. Was it worth the price you paid? Twice you paid for it, God knows. Was it worth the time you spent? The money you lent to pay my rent on time. This time we'll never fall behind again. We'll never fall behind on our rent again.
Well, there's one.
And I remember hearing that. You did that by yourself. You played it for me for the first time, and I was like, holy shit. This is going to get kicked up a notch.
I mean, don't know about that.
No, dude. No, that was my first reaction to that. And
it's got some Moo Major going on.
Well, yeah, that's what really drew me, because I was getting good at chords. I was myself.
You were getting good fast.
But I remember hearing that song, and I'm like, wow, he's inventing chords inside of this song to support the melody line. And that is something that I'm going to have to just keep practicing.
Well, the melody is really simple, fortunately. Right. But yeah, man,
that's a great song.
Yeah, thank you. That's a fun song. And that, every time I sing it in my head though, when it comes to that part, no, when it says, God knows.
I always want to say Don Loans. Yeah.
That's what I do in my head. Every time I sing it, I go, Don Loans.
Yeah. We did that on a recording. There's somewhere I've got a copy of us, you and I playing You in the Rent, which is the song you just heard.
Well, you know what? It's a good Don Lone song because one, it talks about something like we were actually concerned about. We both had to pay the rent, you
Right.
know, and it's also got it's got a loan involved. Someone
Right.
you know lends you money to pay the rent. Yeah, no, that's a good Don Lone song, I think.
And your vocals is just timeless, dude. I hate
Oh,
to
thanks.
I hate to gush, but 20, hey,
Don Lones.
20 years from now, man, it's a very familiar tune, and yes, I've heard it hundreds of times before because it's been on so many CDs. But
When I hear it, sounds like a real young dude.
yeah, exactly. Folks, we're so glad to be sharing these moments of our past with you, and
Precious
thank you
moments.
for joining us. They are precious moments, and I just feel very, very lucky that we bothered.
Oh, sure.
You know, that we bothered in our 20s, and we have these strange recordings. It would be fun to go back and pull out the trumpet out of Television Will Not Help You Play the Trumpet. And
Just
perhaps
isolate it.
yeah, later in life we'll remix these things using technology that we couldn't have even thought of at the time, right?
Yeah, or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Maybe we'll be back to D batteries and cassettes.
That would be fine. We made it work then. It's been a blast. It's been a blast. What a blast. What a blast. Still going, man. Still going. Still going, man.
Excellent.
Still going.